Okay, Polo, I hope you're doing well. I was just going to do a quick video now showing you the difference between the Spark 2 and the Nano Biscotti. Now, just to start off here, we see this is your Nano Biscotti 2 and this is your Spark 2. So you can see there's considerably more wiring involved with the Spark 2. And that's why getting this, Graflex Rebel here goes really the blade holder goes all the way down to here, so there's so much less room to get this in there. I'm not 100% sure it's going to work. I think I probably can get it to work, so if you do get the Spark 2 and you want to go with it, I think I'll be able to get that. But we'll talk about these two sabers here in a second, the Destiny and the Spark 2, and then we can talk some more about your options. Let's talk about the Nano Biscotti first. Okay, so this is a Nano Biscotti, a saber that I have in stock right now that has the Nano Biscotti. So what this has is now this just has a touch card activation. On these two sabers that I do with you, we would be doing the illuminated AV switch on both of these. I plan on doing red on both of these. However, I do have a blue if you'd like blue instead. So there is the this is the Nano Biscotti, so you can hear the sound. The sound is very nice, very clear. You can see the blade actually, I don't know if the camera picks it up, but the blade does actually shimmer when it clashes, and you have the nice flicker effect. Now I can adjust this so it has more flicker or less flicker, but another thing that I wanted to show you is if there's some interesting new technology out now that with a it's called the photon blade technology. So you see here that this is very clearly a blue color. Now there's no inner wrap in this yet, but what's neat about this is this is a photon blade, and what you can do with this now is you can have a blue, but with simply changing blades, this is going to turn into a very interesting green, which is actually the brightness of the green is amplified. It's called photon technology. It's just come out over the last few months. So you can see there it comes out as green. So you actually, with a blue saber, with Nano Biscotti, you can actually get a multicolored saber. I have several of these blades in stock. So if you wanted to get a Nano Biscotti with different colors, you could get extra blades to do that. I mean, you can do that with the Spark too, but it's just a way that the color has to be blue going into this in order for the photon effect to take place. So again, this is the Nano Biscotti. You get you also can get two sound fonts on this. So if I wanted to go to the next sound font, I hold this down, so that'll go to the next sound font. And you can see that's a different sound font with a little bit more of a lower growl. I believe that is the Graflex 5 sound pot by Juan Sith. So some things that are good about the Nano Biscotti that I like is it's very economical. You get a lot of really good features with it. I am able to wire in an illuminated AV switch with this. Some of the drawbacks are there's no aux, and we'll see what the aux is and whether you want it. Some people really like the aux. Some people think it's not necessary. It all depends on where you're at in regards to collecting and what you desire. One good thing about the Nano Biscotti too, as far as sound fonts, is I do find the sound fonts for the Nano Biscotti and Plector Lab stuff, it's more extensive. You're able to find a little bit more of the classic sounds that are better. Not to say that the Spark doesn't have good ones as well, but there's a few sound fonts for the Nano Biscotti that I really like and install on these. Besman 2 and Graflex 5 are two of them. They really are that Old trilogy. Your episode 4 and episode 5 sounds really come through. Now let's take a look at the Spark here. Now this is not installed yet, so I'm just going to put this up here. So what we have here with the Spark is, let me just get this kicked into gear here. Okay, so you see the illuminated anti-vandal switch here. You also have a blinky here. So let's go through this. We're going to illuminate this now, and so there's the spark color. This is a kind of a little bit of a cyan blade. Mixed a little bit of green in there because there's actually two colors in this where I'm able to mix the two to get a different shades of blue actually. Now let's take a look at the aux. This is the main difference. Is you have this aux switch here, which you're able to get blaster and so you hear the blaster sound. And if you watch the blade, if the camera's picking it up, there's a little bit of a fluctuation where the color changes a bit. That's similar to what a flash-on clash would be. Now let's do the lockup. That's the lockup. That's the sound that you get. And so there's three fonts that you can get on this one, and I usually go with, for the most part, just the stock fonts that are on there. To get to the other fonts, you just hit this. There's Father Son, Essence, on Alto Easy, and then there's this thing called Saber Tracks. Okay, so that is kind of a sound font demo. So that's up for you to decide. Again, the Spark is more expensive, and if you decide to go with that, just let me know, as we will. I'll need to order another Spark. I'll actually probably fill up on stock because I'm getting a little low. I only have this one left in stock. Let's go through your sabers now. Here is the Rebel. And what happened to my... There it is. Just to let you know, I usually like to put the AV switch on this side right here, just because I'm right-handed and I like that angle. If I'm holding it, you get the inside here. So I put the AV switch here, and then I put the recharge port right here. Certainly we'd have the screws in here. This is where the blade screw will go that sets the blade in stock, and I haven't put the bunny ears on, but I will be putting bunny ears on if you want. If you don't want the bunny ears, let me know. And then what I do on this is, once I'm done, is I do a brushed aluminum. So I brush this all, and it gives it a really nice sheen look to it. And so one of the things about this saber that I usually go with, most people get this, as I said, I've only sold this in Nano Biscotti before. One of the benefits of getting it in a Nano Biscotti, and I can still do this with the Spark, although it really doesn't make much of a difference if you go with the Spark. I have a Rebel Bin 1 Cyan here, and Bin 1 Cyan is the most coveted probably color in the lightsaber community because it matches that look of Luke's lightsaber in A New Hope when he first turns it on. So everybody that's bought this saber goes with the Rebel Cyan, and that. Now, but the thing that is, it's a single LED. It's still really bright. It's got a brilliant color to it. But that would mean there's no flash-on clash or anything like that, which I don't think flash-on clash is a big deal. I think the shimmer effect does exactly the same thing by fluctuating the blade effect. I don't. Other people would disagree with me, but I actually think the shimmer effect, when it clashes and there's that shimmer, does that. It captures the effect well, and of course the Nano Biscotti has the flicker as well. So that's something to think about, whether or not the Nano Biscotti is up your alley for that. But again, I will do my best to get a Spark 2 in there. I think I probably can do it. This is the Destiny Saber. So what I like to do with this is we have this added. It almost serves as a reverse control box. Because it adds a little bit of extra color and interest to the saber. So I can add another type of control box if you don't like this, as I have other options. But this actually really adds, in my opinion, a real nice flair to it. A little extra color. And then I would put the anti-vandal switch right here. and that would be illuminated. And let me know what color you want this to be. If you want a blue or a green, I usually like to do red here because it offsets the color really a lot. Some people like it to match the blade. I like to have a little bit of a contrast in color. So you have, let me know, I do have a blue in stock as well, a blue AV switch. So there's that, and then on the reverse side here would be where I would put both the recharge port, and if you do the spark, this is where the aux switch would go as well. If I forgot to say on this one, if you do this, the spark, I'd put the recharge port and not the anti-vandal switch, but the aux switch right here. So there's just kind of a run through. I will get this over to you, and then we can talk about how we want to proceed and so forth. Have a good one.